James Oxygen and Supply, from residential to industrial, a locally owned family business serving Western North Carolina since 1956.
I'm Ralph Mangum for the WHKY News. It's time now for our weekly review of some of the crime stories we had for you during the past week. That's May 12th through May 16th. Here we go now.
The defendant in this case was charged in connection to multiple incidents. One of the incidents occurred while the defendant was being held in jail. 25-year-old Tony Ray Kirkland II of Statesville will spend 6 to 8 years in prison after pleading guilty to trafficking methamphetamine by possession, robbery with a dangerous weapon, and assaulting a detention officer. He entered a guilty plea during Catawba County Superior Court on May 6th. The Honorable Karen Edie Williams, Superior Court judge from Mecklenburg County, imposed terms of the active sentence after the defendant entered the plea. The defendant will be required to pay a mandatory fine of $50,000. Kirkland was one of 4 occupants in a vehicle that was stopped on January 25th of 2022 by Catawba County deputies. During a search of the defendant, a plastic bag with a trafficking amount of methamphetamine was found. On June 20th of last year, Kirkland and a co-defendant robbed a tattoo artist and took more than $6,000 in equipment, supplies, and cash from him. While he was in jail on October 8th of 2024, Kirkland assaulted a detention officer. When it was time to return to his cell, Kirkland became combative and attacked the officer, leading to injuries. The cases were investigated by Hickory Police and the Catawba County Sheriff's Office. Assistant District Attorney Nancy Lee prosecuted for the state with aid from legal assistant Amy Bischoff. So once again, a 6 to 8 year prison sentence for Tony Ray Kirkland II. He entered a guilty plea in Catawba County Superior Court last week. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
39-year-old Detrick Dante Hamilton of Statesville has been arrested by Statesville police on 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon inflicting serious injury, robbery with a dangerous weapon, attempted robbery with a dangerous weapon, felony conspiracy, and assault on a female. On May 6th, Statesville police responded to a reported assault on the 1000 block of Old Charlotte Road. Officers found 2 victims who stated that they were walking along the road when they were approached by 2 unknown individuals. The suspects reportedly demanded the victims' cell phones and, when denied, physically assaulted both individuals. One cell phone was taken during the robbery, while the other victim was able to retain their phone. The suspects fled north on Old Charlotte Road. Both victims were transported to Iredell Memorial Hospital for treatment. One sustained a fractured jaw. The second required surgery for injuries to their nose and eye. That person was transferred to Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist Hospital. Investigators identified one suspect as Detrick Dante Hamilton of Statesville. On May 9th, investigators located Hamilton near the 5th Street Ministries. A traffic stop was conducted at Old Charlotte Road and Power Street, where Hamilton was taken into custody without incident. He was jailed without bond. The investigation is ongoing. Anyone with information should call Statesville Police 704-878-3406 or 704-832-3853.
A fatal shooting is under investigation in Burke County. On Saturday at approximately 9:45 a.m., the Burke County Sheriff's Office responded to a report of a shooting at an address on Crawley-Higgins Avenue in Morganton. Initial reports indicated that an altercation between individuals at the scene escalated, resulting in the shooting of one of the parties involved. Upon arrival, deputies secured the scene, and despite life-saving efforts, the victim was pronounced deceased shortly after first responders arrived. The Burke County Criminal Investigations Division, along with the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, were called to the scene to conduct the investigation. The Burke County Sheriff's Office had not released the victim's identity or any suspect information as of May 12th. As the investigation remains active and ongoing, further details will be released as they become available as the investigation progresses. Stay tuned to WHKY.com. I'm Ariana Mack. 42-year-old Melanie Marie Mitchell of US 70 East in Morganton and 38-year-old Beverly Denise Freeman of Morganton, Furniture Road in Valdez were arrested Wednesday by Burke County Sheriff's officers. Mitchell is charged with felony counts of possession of methamphetamine, possession of fentanyl, and possession of a firearm by a felon, along with misdemeanor counts of possession of drug paraphernalia and resisting a public officer. Freeman is charged with felony counts of possession of fentanyl and possession of Adderall and misdemeanor possession of drug paraphernalia. At approximately 11:30 p.m., investigators spotted a suspicious vehicle departing a location known for illegal narcotics activity. A traffic stop was initiated during a K-9 alerted to the presence of potential contraband inside the vehicle. The driver, identified as Melanie Marie Mitchell, became combative and refused to comply with commands to exit the vehicle. Officers removed both Mitchell and the passenger, identified as Beverly Denise Freeman, and conducted a search of the vehicle. During the search, law enforcement found a fully functional 3D printed firearm in Mitchell's possession. The firearm had no serial numbers, rendering it untraceable. Mitchell's bond was set at $35,000 secured. Freeman received a bond of $10,000 secured. They were both scheduled to appear in court Thursday. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY News. A reported shooting is under investigation in Catawba County. According to published reports, the incident happened just before 10 p.m. Tuesday, May 14th, in the parking lot of the Raceway convenience store along US 321 Northwest in Hickory. The published reports say that witnesses reported seeing an argument moments before the gunfire and then seeing a car speed off after the shot was fired. Police said the woman does not have life-threatening injuries and no suspects had been identified. Stay tuned to WHKY for more details. I'm Ariana Mack.
The suspect in this case is a Hickory resident. The investigation began after police received a tip. They arrested the suspect on Tuesday, and he was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility, which is located just behind me. As of the time I'm filing this report, the suspect remained in jail. 30-year-old Douglas Christopher Keith Maw of 8th Avenue Southeast in Hickory was arrested on Tuesday by Catawba County Sheriff's officers. He has been charged with 10 counts of second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. Investigators with the Catawba County Sheriff's Office received a cyber tip referencing suspicious online activity potentially involving child exploitation. Their investigation led to the identification of Douglas Christopher Keith Maw as the suspect in this case. Following the arrest, Maw was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility under a $200,000 secured bond. As of the time I'm filing this report, he remained in jail. He was awaiting a Wednesday district court date here in Newton. Reporting from the Catawba County Justice Center, I'm Rob Eastwood, WHKY News.
20-year-old Robert Norman Tucholsky III of 4th Street Court Southwest in Hickory has been arrested by Granite Falls Police on 9 outstanding felony warrants and 3 misdemeanor warrants. The charges include breaking and entering a motor vehicle, assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, obtaining property by false pretenses, 2 counts, possession of a stolen motor vehicle, discharging a weapon into occupied property, financial card fraud, 2 counts, going armed to the terror of the people, larceny, and possession of marijuana up to half an ounce. Officers responded after numerous complaints regarding suspicious activity, including potential gun violations at a unit in the Wood Lane Street Apartments. An investigation revealed that an individual identified as Tucholsky was staying at the residence. Officers observed the residence and saw Tucholsky exit, enter a vehicle parked nearby, and then quickly return inside. 2 unidentified individuals then exited the residence. Officers made contact, but the individuals refused to provide information regarding persons who were still inside the residence. Those subjects left on foot. Officers suspected they may have attempted to conceal contraband before leaving. Police searched the exterior of the property and found an abandoned suitcase that contained 2 firearms. The property was secured, and on May 13th, Granite Falls Police executed a search warrant at the residence. During the search, several more firearms were recovered, including one that another agency had reported stolen. Tucholsky was taken into custody and placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility with bond set at $49,000. A district court date was scheduled for May 20th in Burke County, with additional appearances on May 27th and June 6th in Lenoir. The investigation is ongoing. Anyone with information should contact Detective Sergeant Clint Ferguson at clint.ferguson@granitefallsnc.gov or call 828-415-8014. Tips may also be submitted anonymously to Crime Stoppers, 828-758-8300.
The suspect in this case faces multiple drug charges. He was previously charged in 2024 with drug offenses. He was taken into custody earlier this week. Police reportedly found methamphetamine during their investigation. The suspect was placed in jail in the Alexander County Detention Center. 50-year-old Scotty Wayne Alexander Farr of Stony Point was arrested on Wednesday by Alexander County Sheriff's deputies. He's charged with offenses including felony counts of possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver methamphetamine, maintaining a vehicle, dwelling, or place for controlled substance, and possession of methamphetamine, along with a misdemeanor count of possession of drug paraphernalia. Farr was arrested at approximately 3 a.m. Wednesday. Deputies reportedly seized 3.5 grams of meth during the investigation. Farr was placed in the Alexander County Detention Center with bond set at $40,000. A district court date is scheduled next Monday on the new charges. Farr has charges pending from 2024, including felony possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver methamphetamine, and felony possession of Schedule I controlled substance.
70-year-old Bobby Lee Collins of Powell Bridge Road in Harmony was arrested by Iredell County Sheriff's officers today on a charge of first-degree murder. At 8:13 this morning, Iredell County Emergency Communications took a call from Collins, who said he shot his wife at about 7 a.m. at his home. He said he locked the door to the house when he left and had the keys in his pocket. Collins said he was sitting in his vehicle at the intersection of Powell Bridge Road and the Harmony Highway. Within minutes, deputies located the suspect vehicle and took Collins into custody. Other deputies went to the home where they found Iona Collins inside. She was pronounced deceased by Iredell County EMS. Homicide and crime scene investigators arrived and executed a search warrant. Evidence was identified and seized. Bobby Lee Collins was taken to the Iredell County Sheriff's Office where he was interviewed and jailed without bond. No court date is currently listed. The investigation is ongoing.
A teenager who was being sought by authorities has been found. WHKY previously reported on this incident, which involved a reported armed robbery. 15-year-old Hope Carroll was found at a residence in northern Catawba County the morning of May 16th by deputies and investigators following a tip concerning her possible whereabouts. Carroll is safe and was reunited with family. The suspect in the crime, Jim Jernigan, was still being sought. On Thursday, May 15th, deputies and investigators with the Catawba County Sheriff's Office initiated an investigation into reports of an armed robbery. The investigation led officers to a townhome in Conover's Brandywine community. A search warrant was executed at the location with assistance from the Conover Police Department. No suspects were found. Jim Jernigan, also known as Milkbone, has been charged with armed robbery and larceny of a motor vehicle. Jernigan is believed to be armed and dangerous. Hope Carroll was believed to be with Jernigan prior to being found by authorities. Anyone with information regarding the whereabouts of Jernigan should call the Sheriff's Office at 828-464-3112. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
32-year-old Samantha Danielle Norton of Morganton has been arrested by Burke County Sheriff's officers on felony counts of discharging a weapon into occupied property, trafficking opium or heroin, and possession with intent to manufacture, sell, or deliver a Schedule II controlled substance. On May 13th, sheriff's officers responded to an address on Mill Race Road in Morganton after shots were reportedly fired into an occupied residence. Samantha Danielle Norton was identified as the shooter, and warrants were issued for her arrest. On May 14th, Norton was found at a gas station on Bethel Road in Morganton. She was taken into custody without incident. During the arrest, the firearm was found in her vehicle along with 32 grams of fentanyl and 22 grams of meth. Norton was initially jailed without bond. At a bond hearing on May 15th, a judge set her bond at $300,000 secured. A court date was scheduled Friday with another appearance set for June 5th.
The two suspects charged in this case face multiple drug counts. The suspects were arrested following a traffic stop. Police reportedly seized methamphetamine and a firearm during their investigation. Both suspects are scheduled to appear in court later this month. 31-year-old Darren Lee Ellis and 36-year-old Heather Marie Payne, both of Granite Falls, were arrested by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. They're both charged with 2 counts of trafficking in methamphetamine and maintaining a vehicle for controlled substance. Ellis is additionally charged with probation violation. Payne is also charged with carrying a concealed handgun and failure to appear. On May 12th, narcotic agents with the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office and narcotic detectives from the Lenoir Police Department spotted known suspects traveling on Highway 321 in Granite Falls. The driver of the vehicle was known to have a suspended driver's license. The investigation also involved the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation. Patrol deputies with the Sheriff's Office initiated a vehicle stop. Deputies searched the vehicle and found approximately 59 grams of meth and a handgun. The driver was identified as Ellis. The passenger was identified as Payne. Ellis was placed in the Caldwell County Detention Center under $45,000 secured bond. Payne received a bond of $35,750 secured. They're both scheduled to appear in district court in Lenoir May 29th.
And that's our weekly look back at a few of the crime stories we had for you during the week of May 12th through May 16th. The weekly roundup is available every Saturday on our YouTube channel, along with our top stories, the crime report, local sports, and community focus. I'm Ralph Mangum. Thank you all for your support of the WHKY News.